Greetings! I'm doing a little garden update. Things are going really well for the first season on this plot. I have a lot of space. I do have the ability to irrigate this area even more so than what I'm doing now, but I'm going to try to stick with this size plot. I'm going to say roughly about 100 feet long, maybe 30 feet wide, could be 35, but these vines are going to extend in this field. That's all squash mounds out there, 4 different varieties, and they're up and looking lovely. We got hit by really 3 days of cooler temps. It even dipped down to about 38 one night, and the only thing I'd lost had been the cucumbers that sprouted. But I was quick to get the seeds back in the ground. And let me introduce you. This is the Powder Bunny. When we first got her, we named her Powder. And then watching her hop around with that stubby tail, we decided to change it to Bunny. This is Kitten. Kitten showed up here last year, 3 days after my birthday. And he's the most fabulous cat. We all adore him. So that's the newest family members. The wild dog Buddy is only here for a short time every month or so. Kitten has run him off, and when he shows up, he is very skinny. I try to get as much food into him as I can. After a year and a half, he has still not let me touch him. Anyway, here we go. We'll get back to the garden instead of the animal rescues. Hothouse heirloom Marion tomatoes. They didn't show a sign of fatigue with the transplant. Very happy with those. Ground cherries, lost quite a few in the transplant. A small patch. I'm going to try to get more in. We have lemon apple cucumbers all along here. I'm going to try to get it up over the fence. That is a patch of potatoes. I believe they're golden potatoes. They may be russet. Memory isn't so good anymore. But I'm going to do an experiment here. This is going to be buried as soon as they emerge. And the other patch down there, I'm going to wait until they get about a foot tall, and then I'm going to bury the greens. I want to see if there's a difference. The tomato plants that I had started indoors, the root systems were really lame. So this is the first real watering. I kind of just put them in, gave them a little dose of water, and let this entire garden dry out. Very dry, forcing that root growth because we are hitting the 90s today. Spring was off to a late start, but it's kicking in a high gear. And so I'm laying some mulch down. I only have the little car, so I'm bringing in supplies little by little. So I have to go get some more straw, and I really want to mulch this until I have more leaf development. And Kitten's really going to town. There we go. There's beans and sunflowers, watermelon, and cucumbers in this patch. This was the casting, and I'm going to let go. It's no weeding, no thinning, nothing. I'm just going to see what happens with that patch. This is the first year for this heirloom sweet bell pepper. I can't remember the name of it. And this is more of the tomato plants that I started indoors. All the way down here. And then you can't, after this, you can't even see them. They're so little. They were Direxo tomatoes. I don't have high hopes, of course, for the cool weather, but I do hope that some of the dinosaur kale establishes itself. It did okay in the other spots. And there's the sweet potato green. Let's see if I could zoom in on the lemon apple cucumber vines. Doing really well over there. I think I'm going to get a delivery of some manure. Radishes, or they're in that 25-day mark. Depends on the variety and how big you let them get. But they won't do well if the soil temperatures get too high. So I will consume some of the greens if these don't start to bulb up. And these are tiny, tiny little sprouts in here of borage and arugula. There's the borage. There's some arugula. And see how tiny the direct sow tomatoes are. Right there. It's so hard for me to see on this viewfinder. Sorry about the camera work. You'd think after all this time I'd get better. It's gorgeous lemon balm that I transplanted from the other garden area out back. I'm trying to find shady spots for some of the lettuce. See if we could get some. It's a nice little butterhead starting. And so there's lots of lamb's quarters, and I'm going to let quite a few of these go. And also I'm going to let the cleavers, and if I start to see purslane, I grew the purslane, well, I didn't grow it, it's wild. I let it go in the one garden, but I never did sample it. So I'm going to try that this year. These beds I am thinning. These were the casted beds, and I am going to continue to thin those. Lots of sunflower, marigold. These are Red Ripper and Dixie Lee cowpeas that I got off of JJ. So parsley's up and basil starting to appear, the Texas hummingbird sage. Lots and lots of different varieties. Lots needs to be thinned. I'm going to try to start more bell peppers and get those out here with another round of the ground cherries. This is the other potatoes that I was telling you about. I'm going to let these grow up pretty high and then mound the soil over the top of them because I have enough soil. I took a walk out in the field just to see what was happening after the disking and tractor, ran through it. I want to see what's the toughest of the tough out there. And those blackberry bushes, they're the first to emerge, and then the grass. But not too much is happening in these fields. All right, I hope your garden season is off to a good start, and let me know how you're doing. Write me a personal message or a comment to the video. I'd love to hear from you. Talk to you soon.